In this video, I'm taking you over my shoulder, in front of my face, and into my iPad as I do a recording session for my new song called We're Right here in GarageBand iOS. Now, what this isn't is going to be quick tips and tutorials and all that sort of jazz is in the description. Go to my 5-minute GarageBand quick tips. That's where you'll find how to do everything. Or just search my name, Pete Johns, GarageBand, and a thing, because we've got over 1,000 videos about GarageBand on iPhone and iPad. But this one is going to be something a little bit different, a bit interesting for those that like to deep dive and know everything about my process. I'm going to share it all, because we're going to be recording. Now, if you've caught the latest couple of episodes of GarageBand Weekly, we recorded this. This is a demo of my song called We're Right at this point in time. Let's take a quick listen to it. Here's the intro start. So it's a very basic, sort of simple song. These are just being used as metronomes at the moment, the cowbell and the Kyle. And you'll hear there that it's a little bit out of time. And that's because when we first recorded this demo, I had the speakers, I was recording, there was lots of bleed and audio noise going back in. So what we're doing today is I've got the headphones on so that that's going to block out any of the sound, or most of it at least. There'll be a little bleed always, there always is, but that's all right. Don't have to be perfect. And we're going to record in some new guitars here, as well as some new vocals, some new vocal ideas as well. So the first thing we do when we're doing anything like this is we create a new version of our track, don't we? Yes, we do. We come out here and we duplicate so that we've got a version 2. There it is. We're okay. We're okay, we're right. I don't know. It'll get a title eventually. And now we're ready to rock and roll. But what I want to do first is kind of clean this up, because we've got a bunch of different tracks. I just want one guide track here. So one guitar, which we'll put down the middle here, which is just our idea. Cool, we just need one of those. I'm going to delete all the rest because this was just me layering up, layer upon layer. And then there's one that we do need to keep, which is our little lead guitar part. Put that back in the middle. All right, cool. So we're keeping those, we're getting rid of these. And the thing here is we've got bunches of versions of these, so we don't need all of them in there. I did a little percussion work here as well, which is on these tracks. Now my vocals, we just want to keep the basic idea of the main vocal, and then, so we're just going to delete out these ones. The basic main vocal, which is this one here, we'll delete everything else, because this is my full take of the main vocal. And I do want to keep my backing vocals. So... everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world sometimes. Just so that I can reference these and I don't forget them when we do our final mix and final recording. So we're going to get rid of everything else. These are now just basically going to act as guide tracks for me to record over the top of, and then we can mute all of those out. Now, the reason I'm doing this is I don't want to keep any of these. Sometimes your scratch tracks are going to be fine. This case, they're not in time because I didn't have a proper metronome going on and I didn't play it in time to start with. But what we can now do is get ready to record here with the guitar. Now, I'm going to record it using 2 methods. And I've showed these in more detail before, but basically I've got a 2-channel audio interface, and I've got the guitar plugged in direct into channel 2, and I've got this microphone, which is a condenser mic. There it is. It probably doesn't need the pop filter. I'm going to leave it on there anyway in case I breathe in its general direction. So I've got this, the AT2020. If you're looking for gear for your home studio, head over to my gear guide. It's at studiolivetoday.com/gear. There's a bunch of links there to Amazon, to eBay, to Thomann. Wherever you buy your gear, you can, if you buy from those are affiliate links. They'll break off a small chunk and send it to me. So I'm going to get this set so it's sort of sitting down here towards my 12th fret. And then we're going to record. All right, I think we're good to go. So let's set up our tracks. Now, I'm going to do this from scratch, even though I've already set them up once before, just to show you what we have here. We're going to hit plus, and to be honest, GarageBand holds your hand nicely here. If we go audio recorder and we go to instrument, and we go acoustic guitar, and we go nice room, it basically gives you a nice acoustic guitar sound. So you can see there at the moment, I'm on channel 1 here. So this is going to be my microphone channel. So if we turn on monitoring, hello, 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 then that's going to be recording there. So when we start playing, it'll start recording on that channel. So great, we've got the first channel set up. We're going to go back to our track view, and we're just going to duplicate that out because we've already got the one channel. But the thing we need to do with this one is swap its channel. So we're going to come in here to our little icon there, actually wrong one, come in here to our microphone icon there, and we're going to swap this from channel 1 to channel 2. Now this works with any audio interface you use, whether it's a IK Multimedia, iRig, or using a Focusrite, or a Steinberg, or an M Audio, or Presonus, or even Behringer. They all work the same. But we're going to turn monitoring on, and this time you'll see that we're picking up a little bit there. That's just the pickups in this microphone picking up. But when we play, and now at this point, I have tuned the guitar a couple of times, but I do just want to make sure that none of my strings are out of tune. And if you've got perfect pitch, you're going to be very annoyed by this song because my guitar is is tuned to E flat. Just because, I don't know, I like to play some songs, and I usually have it tuned a little lower just so I can hit some of those notes. It's a slight cheat, isn't it? All right, so now what we're going to do is go back to our tracks view now, and check the input gain of the microphone track. So of our guitar track, that looks pretty good because when we're playing, you can see there it's hitting up about 70, excuse me, frog in the throat, 70 to 75% of our max when we're playing, which is cool. Let's come to this one and come over into our mic setup here, and we need to check the input gain here of this microphone. So from the position I'm going to be playing, that's looking pretty good as well. So I think we're actually set here. And if you do need to change your input gain, you change it on your interface. The sliders here, they do nothing. So don't worry about your output gain here. That's just how loud you'll hear it. And you'll see the input gain is grayed out because we're using a audio interface. If you were just using the built-in mic, you might be able to adjust the input gain there. But we can't, so we won't. Now, you'll hear that we're already hearing the echo there. That's because we've got our monitoring on. Now, if you don't see all of these here in GarageBand, what you need to do is come over here to Advanced and make sure you turn on multi-track recording. Because, see, without this on, we can only record one track at a time. That's no bueno. We want to record 2 tracks, so we turn multi-track recording on. And now what you've got is your monitors and you've got your record lights. So because we've got 2 different tracks here, we can both monitor and record on 2 tracks at once, which is pretty rad. So what we're going to do is record. We're going to attempt to record this, and we've got 2 bars of lead in, and then we're going to start recording. You'll also see there's a little number 2 up there under the record light. So that's showing us that there is going to record onto 2 tracks. And now you get to see the fun part. So if you want to skip ahead, feel free to. We'll be doing some vocals later, and look, I'll endeavour to put timestamps in there to the main sections for this, but I make no promises. I'm a lazy man. All right, let's try this out. Hit the record button. Turn down these a little bit too loud. Oops, I turned down the wrong thing. Stop that. Undo. I meant to turn down these metronome tracks. These can stay up where they were. All right, let's try that one again. So we've got the 1 bar, then we've got 2 bars of lead in. There's there's a good practice. Practice run. So you can hear there is our microphone, and there's our direct. And the reason that we record both of them is that we now have a nice kind of combined sound. I do want to turn the microphone up just a notch, so I'm going to reach carefully past all the gear here and turn it up. At the moment it was at about 12 o'clock. I'm just going to turn it around a little bit to 1 o'clock just so that we get a little bit more gain into that mic track. I had it turned down because I was doing vocals most recently. Now, this is where it gets frustrating because you're going to see me just undo things. And by the way, undo you can use up here. Let's just turn those off for a moment so you don't keep hearing the delay. You can undo up here, or I'm using a magic keyboard here on my iPad. I hit Command Z or Command Z, and that went away. What you experienced there was me having a little bit of red light fever. Now, what is red light fever? That is when I'm sitting here casually just practicing, and it sounds great. And then as soon as I start playing, I'm just like, you've been there, haven't you? It happens to the best of us, and even me. So don't stress about it. Just let yourself go. And you noticed I kept going a bit there as well, and that's because sometimes, especially when you're playing a repeating pattern like this, you can cheat a little bit. And if you don't get it right every time, you can just copy and paste sometimes. Not all times. In a perfect world, we'd all get perfect first takes and use just a clean, straight take. But it's not a perfect world and we don't have infinite time. So let's get this stuff done. One. And we're off the rails. Okay. I need to make sure that I'm actually playing the right bit at the right time there. So let's just bring my original guitar back in here, because here's... No, I wasn't. So I jumped in. So we've actually got, I forgot that we have an intro, which is 8 bars, and then we have 2 sections of verse, and then this is our big chorus. So there you go. We've done it wrong. I did warn you, didn't I? I did? Yes, good. And the reason I'm not playing along to this original track is that I don't want to. No, it's out of time. And the reason I'm doing this again is that it was out of time. But that's a good thing. Every time we do this, it'll get a bit better. We'll get a bit more cash and relaxed and just ease into it. Don't put pressure on yourself, folks. Just do your thing. Because I really want to get that. That loose kind of Jack Johnson-y kind of vibe. So I'm going to hum along this time just so that I can remember where the chorus bit comes in. Let's do this thing. 1, 2. Right. Few problems. I realise as I'm like singing along and mumbling along, I'm recording not just direct, I'm recording on a microphone as well. That's not going to work great. Or maybe it will. We'll soon find out. Let's listen to that. Yeah, I need to not talk. Need to not talk in the middle of the takes. So, guess what we get to do now? Yeah, you guessed it. We do it all again. So we're going to duplicate out our first track. We're going to duplicate out our second track. And we're going to record these so that we've got multiple takes. And what I'll do is I'll bring this down so we're grouping the takes together down here. This time I will try to be silent. Now we can play along with our first track. And this is a good thing about layering up multiple takes is that you kind of can hide behind the other takes if there's little bits that aren't quite right. And sometimes those imperfections can actually turn out to sound quite good in the end. So let's fire this up. Ready? and let your last note just hold as long as you possibly can. Otherwise, when you come to the end and you want to try and cut it off, you might not have enough sustain at the end to sustain your happiness. All right, I was pretty happy with that take. It wasn't perfect in every spot, but nothing ever is. And what we can now do is sort of start trying to find a bit of a stereo feel with this. So what we might want to do is say put the microphone on the left, like half left, and the direct half right. And then on this one, lower the volumes of these because it's the take that I talked through. And bring this in here. And with this one, we'll go all the way right and all the way left. And then you can get yourself a nice textured sound. And by doing that, by doing the sort of half left, half right, you can use the more microphone tone, which is more your string noise, as the left side, and then your heavier, kind of more direct sound, which sounds more like your sound hole, on the right. So it gives you, and then you do have to balance the volumes because you can see it's louder on the direct one, but that's sounding pretty good. So we're going to go with it for now, and we're going to record in our lead guitar part. So let's bring our lead guitar down here. Zoop, 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 zoop. Come on. There we go. Bring our lead guitar down here. And at the moment, it's going to sound okay, but it's a bit out of time. So now we can re-record this. So again, we'll just go duplicate this. Actually, you know what we'll do? We'll use our same settings here that we had for these tracks. So we'll duplicate the first one. We'll duplicate a second one. And then we'll bring these up here because we can just use the same doubled track method here so that we've got two versions of this. So we'll leave this one here, but we'll mute it, and then we'll solo. No, we won't solo. We'll unsolo everything. What I do miss about Logic Pro is you do have a solo all, unsolo all. Like if you've soloed a bunch of stuff, you can just say, nah, turn all that stuff off. Here in GarageBand, you gotta do it one by one. So let's practice this little part. I reckon that's going to be it. So, and this goes from the very start. As soon as we kick in here, this will play. So we'll turn it up like a light switch because it needs to be sort of a bit louder. So we'll use that same thing there. Yeah, do we go? No, we don't. We'll do the same sort of half left, half right thing here. Just, we can play with all this in mixing, but just it's easier if you mix a little bit as you go. All right, we're going to do sort of like that, sort of just like pull-offs as we go down. So we'll turn both of these on, we'll record. All right, let's just record this stuff in 2, 3. Let's just let that wrong note resonate there. All right. 7th fret, Johns. 7th fret. Let's bring this in. Ready? So I just wanted to play all the way through there. I may or may not use all of that. And what I am hearing though, and look, this happens, is that the recording is a little sloppy against the metronome, even though I got the headphones on, even though it's feeling okay. So we'll see if when we do the vocals in a moment, if they'll slot into the groove there. Because we may be able to turn off the metronome, because I kind of want to like a claps along with it. So maybe we'll replace it with that. And then it won't matter if it's not quite on the grid. Imperfection for the win. So let's just play a little bit of this in one of these sections to see how this is going to go from the start. It actually sounds quite good, doesn't it, without the percussion there? I think it's just that we don't need all that percussion. Why don't we record in just a clap track right now? Right now, no time like the present. Let's just clap along, and we'll just use the lead vocal one here. Hello, hello, clap, 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 clap. All right, put the guitar down and clap along. Everybody clap your hands. All right, this is going to be fun. You're going to get to listen to the whole song with me clapping along. Did I tell you that recording sessions aren't always glamorous? All right, so we'll just hit record and we'll do this. Let's get some nice organic clap sounds. Ready? I will need the metronome on for this though, because I kind of do need to hear a little bit of that. I'm going to turn the metronome down though. So we'll come in here to my settings. We'll turn the volume down a bit. Just so that we can have to make sure my claps stay on tracks. Ready? All right, well, I think we can use that for the rest of it. Now, look, am I going to use that all through? And is that going to be the final version of that? Maybe, maybe not. And we definitely don't need that much reverb on it, do we? We'll just turn that down. We don't need the overdrive on there. And we'll leave a little reverb on there, but not too much. So, ready? Wow, my clapping's way out of time. Who knew I couldn't clap in time? I'm going to mute that for now. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. All right. So, but I still like the guitars. And maybe if we just have the... I'm definitely, yeah, it's a floating, isn't it? It's a bit of a floater. Maybe we need one more guitar track that's an acoustic, but it's just playing along like a bass part. All right, let's do this. Let's do it. All right, so once again, we'll duplicate and we'll duplicate. And we'll do some tidying up here in a minute. So this is going to be like a little bassy track here at the very front. All right, so we'll record on these two. Bring it up, bring it up. My mic back down in here. Something like that. Ready? All right, I tried to go too soon, which I did the first time around. So I'll just redo this again. We're gonna punch in this time. Hit record. Whoop, wrong button. Let her ring. All right, we're going to put the guitar down now, and I'm going to grab some vocals. I'm going to grab vocals, which means we need to have some water on hand to wet our whistles. All right, let's just do some quick naming here. I'm going to name just the first one of each. Whoop, don't duplicate, name. Turn off those. So to name a track here, we tap. Actually, first, let's just save this, shall we? We've done a lot of recording there and we hadn't saved for a long time. So we always want to do that. So we're going to come to this first one. We're going to rename it and we're going to call this one our bass because it is. This one, we're going to rename it and call it our lead. This one, we're going to rename it and we're going to call it, this was our rhythm, RHY1. And this one, we're going to rename it, and this is our main rhythm, rename RHY2. All right, so now we know kind of what we've got there. And it is time to record some vocals. All right, so let's hit the plus button here. We're going to go into vocals, audio recorder. This time, instead of acoustic guitar, we want vocals. And we'll just use the lead vocal to start with. I generally turn down a little bit of the reverb, even for vocal recording. And we'll turn our monitor on. And here is our microphone. We're ready to record in some vocals sounds here. Now, when I'm recording, even on just one vocal, just turn that off for a sec, one vocal, I tend to do this trick, which is to duplicate it and then just put a second vocal as a dummy vocal on channel 2. Why do I do this? Well, it's so that I can record out on this screen and I can actually watch my guitar and watch my song sections go along here, so I can see where we're at and where I'm up to in the song, without just being flying blind. Because you can record on this screen instead of this screen. It's much, much better. Trust me. Trust me. I'm a YouTuber. So we're going to record the lead vocal to start with, and then we'll record our backing vocals. I'm just going to bring up my lyrics here on my a screen behind us so that I know what the heck I'm going to be singing. All right, we've got that up now, and we'll hit the record button, get this done. One take wonder. I'll turn off this mic. Yeah, messed that up, didn't I? Best laid plans. I did not have my second track selected, and I'm not monitoring. That looks better. The fun when you're your own engineer. Everybody. Everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world. Sometimes everybody feels like, let's stop that, stop. We have a small problem here. Oh, it's not on. There was a little bit of check. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've got a little bit of delay, latency in my system here, which is a thing you get. It's probably why my timing's been off for a lot of this. And unfortunately here in GarageBand, there's not much you can do about it. Because check, 1, 2, Oh, you know what? I'm on the wrong channel, aren't I? That's why nothing's changing. But what you can do is turn down some of that. So you get a little bit more direct sound through. So we'll do a little. Well, that was interesting. Are we back? There we go. We're back. When you're recording live to tape and your mixer crashes halfway through your live to tape recording, that's never fun. It just went bleep and then it stopped. All right, let's just do this again. We'll come back here. We'll soldier on, won't we? We'll do that. All right, so undo that last take. Let's try this again. Everybody feels like. There we go. Everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world. Sometimes everybody feels like the bad guys have already won. And everybody feels like they don't even know their purpose sometimes. And everybody feels like it's just everyone for themselves. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. Just put your hand in mine, 'cause we're gonna be okay. Everybody knows that their life has its ups and its downs. Everybody knows that they're not the only one in pain. And everybody knows that they wouldn't judge others the same way. And everybody knows that there's light at the end of it all. Now I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So reach out and help someone else, 'cause we're gonna be okay. Okay. Not great. Okay. Yeah. Now, am I feeling fabulous about this recording session? No. And would a more, experienced and maybe less honest YouTuber just bin this session because you're like, yeah, my timing's a bit off, my pitch's a bit off? No, because some of this may be salvageable. Some of it may not be. We may need to start from scratch. But this is the balls and all, the nuts and bolts of recording. And it's why I like to say that you have unlimited retries here in the digital world. And look, that has its own set of problems because it means you can do things again and again and again, and you can keep striving for perfection even when you got something that's pretty good. So yeah, it is what it is what we like to say around here. And we're going to record another vocal take. Back over here. Probably didn't need the whole intro. Everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world sometimes. Everybody feels like the bad guys have already won. And everybody feels like they don't even know their purpose sometimes. And everybody feels like it's just everyone for themselves. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So just put your hand in mine, 'cause we're gonna be okay. Everybody knows that their life has its ups and its downs. Everybody knows that they're not the only one in pain. And everybody knows that they wouldn't judge others the same way. And everybody knows that there's light at the end of it all. Now I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So reach out and help someone else, 'cause we're gonna be okay. Okay. Not great, but okay. There's take number 2. All right, we've got 2 takes. We got 2 takes. 1, 2. Now we've got to work these backing vocals that we're going to put in here, which will hopefully bring things together. I don't mind the idea of actually doing the clicks while I do these, just like I did here. Yeah, so we need to redo them, obviously, because they kind of cut in and out there. So we'll bring these down. Oh, we don't really need to bring them down, because it's pretty simple, isn't it? Let's duplicate this one out. We'll turn it down a wee bit. All right. So we'll now, do we have this in the opening? No, but I'll do it for the opening, just because, why not? All right, we'll record this over and over and over again. Everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world. Sometimes everybody feels like the bad guys already won. And everybody feels like they don't even know their purpose. Sometimes everybody feels like it's just everyone for themselves. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So just put your hand in mine, 'cause we're gonna be everybody knows that their life has its ups and its downs. Everybody knows that they're not the only one in pain. And everybody knows that they wouldn't judge others the same way. And everybody knows that there's light at the end of it all. Now I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So reach out and help someone else, 'cause we're gonna be okay. That's a lot of ooze. And sorry, I left the doubled vocal up a bit loud there. It sounded a bit weird, didn't it? But that's okay. We can work on this. Duplicate that out. Grab this one, move this one, I reckon like half left again. And then we can do this one and make it half right. So let's just... ooh, ooh. I think the other one was... ooh. In the world. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. All right, well, let's record this in. A little water before we do it. Gotta always keep hydrated. All right, hit the record button. Oh, make sure we got that second track on. Hit it. Everybody feels like... All right, let's start that again. I'm not sure we need the ooze at the start, but we'll see how we go. These are higher notes, so they'll need more breath, so we might need to cut in a couple of times. Ready? Everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world. Sometimes everybody feels like the bad guys have already won. And everybody... That's where I ran out of breath. And everybody feels like they don't even know their purpose sometimes. And everybody feels like it's just everyone for themselves. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. Just put your hand in mine, 'cause we're gonna be okay. Alright, need to come back in from there. Ooh. Backing vocals are some of the weirdest things to sing. Okay. We're gonna be okay. There's a cough right as I started. We're gonna be okay. Everybody knows that their life has its ups and its downs. Running out of breath all over the shop here. Undo that, do that again. We'll take a breather, which is actually practical. Alright, let's do it. We're gonna be okay. Everybody knows that their life has its ups and its downs. Everybody knows that they're not the only one in pain. Yeah, reaching the end of my breath there, aren't I? Alright, I'll try again. And everybody knows that they wouldn't judge others the same way. We slipped the metronome back on there, I don't like it. And everybody knows that they wouldn't judge others the same way. And everybody knows that there's light at the end of it all. Now I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is to get. Alright, try that one again. Now, yeah, these may need to be re-recorded on another day when I have more breath, because talking and doing this at the same time. Let's try that. Now I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So reach out and help someone else. 'Cause we're gonna be okay. Okay. Not great. So I tried something a little different there at the end that didn't quite, I don't know, maybe it worked. But the thing is, we've got the pieces of the puzzle here. So we may be able to pull this together into something that is going to resemble a rad song. And if we don't, you know what? We come back and we do it all again. Because what have we spent here? Hour? Yep, just over an hour. And we've got a lot done. We've worked out what works, what doesn't work, and that's part of the process. Even though you think you've written the song, you come back and you start tracking it, and you're like, maybe not that, maybe that. And that's the beautiful part of having your own studio, your own time. You can just keep trying things, and sometimes it'll work, and sometimes it won't. I'm feeling about 7 out of 10 about this one. Not to be down on myself, it's a good song, but it deserves a little better. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick sort of mix of it here. We're going to listen to it to finish off the video. We're going to listen to this track and see what I think of this. I like the clicks in the backing track. I think they're going to work. So we'll see how this goes. Let's just trim off these front bits because a few of them have me just yammering on. And I will, in the final mix, I'll make sure that we have a little bit more gap at the front there. But just so that we get a nice clean start at this point. Got to make sure that you're only moving that. GarageBand has this weird auto-centering thing it's doing at the moment. So let's take a listen. Let's see what this is going to sound like. This is We're Right. Everybody feels like they don't have a place in the world. Sometimes everybody feels like the bad guys have already won. And everybody feels like they don't even know their purpose. Sometimes everybody feels like it's just everyone for themselves. But I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So just put your hand in mine, 'cause we're gonna be okay. Everybody knows that their life has its ups and its downs. Everybody knows that they're not the only one in pain. And everybody knows that they wouldn't judge others the same way. And everybody knows that there's light at the end of it all. Now I'm here to tell you the truth. The only way through is together. So reach out and help someone else. 'Cause we're gonna be okay. Okay. Not great. All right. Okay. Here's my critique of my recording session. Still a bit sloppy with the timing. Definitely need to tighten up those guitars. This needs to be, I mean, it's an acoustic song, but it needs to like, there's a few parts there where it's floaty, and floaty equals distracting. And yeah, I'm going to be hard on myself here because it's fine, but I want it to be great. So fine's not where we want it to be. Backing vocals, need to re-record those when got a bit more voice, and maybe not all the way through. Maybe they come in and they come out there. Lead guitar I quite liked, so I'm happy with some of the lead parts. I think some of them don't need to be in there, so we can maybe workshop a few of those. I need to remember that when I'm recording with a microphone to not breathe into it and to not talk into it or sing into it while I'm recording guitars. There's another learning for me there. I like this bass part to the point where I might actually record it in with a bass. I wanted this to be an acoustic song, but I reckon just like a bass, like, yeah, maybe I'll leave it with the guitar as the acoustic bass there. And the percussion, I do like the clicks. I think the clicks on the 2 and the 4 work. And I think I still want something like that. Maybe like a cajon or something. Something like that to make it just something organic that's going to work in there. So that's the plan. That's where we're at with all of this at the moment. Yeah, not perfectly happy, not unhappy, but reality. And that's kind of what I wanted to show you here. I didn't know how this was going to be. I could have been sitting here going, best recording session ever, or it could have been an absolute debacle. I think it was somewhere in between. And hopefully you enjoyed seeing it. And hopefully, if it gives you nothing else, even if you weren't into the technical side of things and how I did things and the monotony of recording multiple takes of things, hopefully you realize that when you have those days where it doesn't all just work out exactly perfectly, that's perfectly fine. In fact, that's reality. That's normal. That's what will happen. Sometimes you catch lightning in a bottle. Sometimes you feel like you're pushing against the wind and it's not quite working for you. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe because we will be finishing this song off in the coming days and weeks. So I hope you join me for all the live shows that we do each weekend here. We've got Your Music Live. We've got the Happy Hour. We've got GarageBand Weekly. We've got a great podcast. If you're watching this one at point of release, we've got a great podcast tomorrow. And in fact, you'll be sent straight to that premiere after this. So set yourself a reminder if you are watching this. That'll be on your screen right now. Just click on the little clickety click, click, click. If you're in the future, it'll all be done and you'll be able to watch it anyway. But thanks for being here, folks. Be kind to yourselves. Be kind to others. Keep creating. I'll see you next time.